Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In this video, I am going to talk about how I got into cybersecurity from physical security. So please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned. So, like I said in this video, this is how I transitioned into cyber from physical security at the age of 39 years old. I am currently 41 years old. Feel like I'm 26, could compete with the best of them, physically or mentally. So my background is a little diverse because I have been doing some pen testing, ethical hacking, especially on the side when I was younger. Started off doing people's DirecTV and Dish Network cards when I was in high school, my junior year. So I've always been tampering into this field, and I've also done some red team stuff on the physical security side as well. So that being said, I was always kind of a hybrid when it came to this. Now, I officially made the jump into cyber in June 2022. Technically, while I was at Box, I was technically under cyber in physical security. Hence, I did more of this kind of role as a hybrid. Getting to see how that worked in and out on an enterprise level, I finally made that decision while I was at Box to fully convert over. The whole thing that happened with COVID and all that stuff, I'll get into that video on why I left cybersecurity in a whole, but pretty much it was just the perfect time to go. With 2020 just put the icing on the cake for me. Now, with that being said, I was in the physical security, workplace services, facility, real estate side of things. So you could bring and utilize a lot of other skills that you have, right? Project, program management, procurement, audit, compliance, whether that's from the federal all the way down to the local level, county level. So you got all kinds of different skill sets from those two fields, and even environmental health and safety. Those are usually under workplace services, facilities, real estate, unless you're in a bigger organization such as Facebook, Apple, etc. You know, they're pretty much branched off into their own department. So number one, out of these three key things is utilize your skills to get into cyber. And that's pretty much, like I said, project, program management, procurement, finance, compliance, right? This might not be, say, if you're coming in from that background as a facilities director or manager, you're not going to probably come in. It's not saying it's not possible, but if you don't have that background or skill set, or you haven't been dabbing into this on the side, you're probably not going to come in as a red teamer or a blue teamer. The best way to come in is going to be as a project or program management or manager position, or procurement or GRC. That's going to be your way in, and possibly even your fastest way. And also being in certain and working in that field set, I'm going to speak on real estate, facilities, physical security, and workplace services. Whatever term they use, it depends on the company. You're going to have relationships built with the cyber IT team, networking team, whatever they want to brand themselves as. So you're going to know, the ins and outs, especially doing project management, doing business continuity, disaster recovery stuff. So you're going to have some kind of idea on what they're looking for, what they need, and how you could utilize your skills. So that's number one. Use your skills that you have. Everyone has some kind of skill that they could provide to a cyber unit, cyber team, to get into the field. So no one's not going to come in empty-handed, right? So I'll give you an example as a red teamer at my current company. There's no one that knows how to manage projects. There's no one that knows how to build up programs. There's no one that knows how to do procurement and negotiate contracts. I have those skill sets. Have I used them 100%? No, but I do have them. So, that helped me with my foot in the door. Also, being a manager, senior manager, knowing how to manage people, different personalities. You might not come in as a manager, but you know how to utilize that and help out the team, right? It's pretty much one team, one dream. You got to help out where you go, especially if you have a newer manager, someone that doesn't have that experience. They're going to have someone that, you build that relationship, you build trust with them. They're going to lean on you in those certain kind of scenarios, right? So you're bringing value to that team. Remember, it's about selling yourself and what kind of value are you going to add to the team day one. So that's what I would do. Number one is utilize your skill set on what you can to get into the field of cyber. Again, it might not be going straight to the red team, going to the pen testing team or the blue team, whatever. It might be in a project, program management, procurement, or GRC. And there's nothing wrong with that. Number two is identify where you want to be in cyber. Even before you get your foot in the door, identify where you want to be. Red team, blue team, SOC, GRC, analyst, PM. There's all kinds of fields, and they're growing. Now you got AI, you got machine learning, you got all kinds of shit going in cyber. So identify where you want to go. I always tell people, do try hack me. And to this day, I don't understand why people get mad. Like they get mad because I'm not telling them to go pay $1,600 for an OSCP. Number one, cyber is difficult to maintain. You got to be on top of your game. You always got to be learning. You got to be ahead of the curve. If you get comfortable, you're going to sink. You're going to become extinct. So you got to be ahead. You got to always put in that work, that grind. Number two, try hack me. For the most part, it's free, and they have different types of roles within cyber that you could learn from. You think you might want to go in as a red teamer one time or one day, and then all of a sudden you're in love with the SOC analyst role, doing Splunk and all that stuff. So, especially if you're new, there's all kinds of different roads to go into cyber. So number two, get on Try Hack Me, identify what you really want to do. And who knows, maybe once you do get into that role, a year or two, you might want to change, go into GRC or some kind of threat hunting or some kind of social media analyst for a cybersecurity team. So, it's always going to change. Things change. Technology changes. It's always going to be a changing, revolving door in cyber. So always keep your head open. And, one role might be extinct. So you might have to get forced, if you want to stay into cyber, to learn something you might not want to do. It could happen to any of us. So you always got to have that in the back of your head. So again, for number two, identify where you want to be in cyber. And that's going to be key. You don't want to go in and you're going to be unhappy day one. Number three, networking is key and it is critical. Now, I'm not a fan of it's all about who you know, not what you know, or what is it? All about who you know, not what you know. And that is true for the most part. And I've been in a lot of those experiences where you got some jackass that came off the street, and just because, he knows someone, especially in the executive level, doesn't know jack shit about the role, the job, doesn't know how the function, doesn't know his ass from his hole. Though, don't be that person. I'm all for of networking and getting the job because you know someone, but don't be the jackass where you don't know shit and you're just going to destroy a team. And not only that, that's going to be a stamp on you and your resume going forward, because believe it or not, the circle is small and word gets around. I've seen that. I've been part of those. It is not good. It's embarrassing. I've never done that myself, but I've seen that, and it's not a good look on that person. So networking is key, critical. It is probably the biggest asset you will have to get to transition into cyber. But go in there and put in the work. Don't go in there blind, because within 3 to 6 months, you're probably going to get your papers, your term papers. So, and that's not guaranteed a severance these days, especially. So go in there knowing the role, knowing what you want to do, have confidence, and put in the work. Again, that is critical. Networking is critical. Put money aside. Forget going out to the bars, messing around with the homies. Go to conferences. There's a lot of local conferences nowadays for cyber. There's a ton of them. B-sides, local cyber meetups, cyber dinners with CISOs. Like, there's all kinds of stuff. Put your money and utilize that if you want to get ahead and network. But again, put in the work as well. And that networking and putting in the work is kind of in parallel, right? You got to put in the work, especially if you're an introvert. I'm a really big introvert. If it wasn't for sports, I'd be a super nerd. Wouldn't even be able to to be half the person I was. So remember that if you're an introvert, that alone is another. It's really hard. It's another job to get out there and network and carry on a conversation with someone you have no idea, and you're probably going to be nervous on how I could provide value to this person, why this person would want to network with me and develop friendship, relationship, business wise. So, that in itself is going to be another task, especially again, if you're introverted. So these would be my three biggest keys to transitioning into cyber. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments, or if I missed something, add it in there. So yeah, that's the video for today. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share, and have a good one.